Hey, how are you? My name is Felt, and welcome back to some Magic the Gathering. Today we're going to be testing out our Doomed Love deck. By testing out, I mean I recorded some gameplay on stream the other day, link to which will be down in the description. You can watch me play decks like this when I'm still testing them out. And a couple of the games will be from stream. A couple of them will also be some offline recording. But this is the Doomed Love deck, as I like to call it. It is a Poison Proliferate synergy deck that uses Jason Vraska as its main win cons, as well as just poisoning out your opponent. We have 4 ways of applying poison, 3 of them that actually matter, those 3 being Vraska's Fall, Infectious Inquiry, and Prologue to Phyresis. Infectious Inquiry is probably the worst of these cards because you really hurt yourself here, but running 4 copies of Vraska's Fall seems a little silly, with the way the current meta works. Vraska does apply poison counters eventually, if you can get all the way up to 9 loyalty, but for the most part, you usually just use her to proliferate and draw cards. And as a 5-cost removal spell that also costs you 2 life, but we don't really talk about that. Another way to win the game is through Ickermore Gauntlet, allowing you to just constantly proliferate with your Jason Vraska and just apply a bunch of new things. We also have a lot of corrupted synergies via stuff like Anoint with Affliction, Bring the Ending, and Distorted Curiosity, where if our opponent can hit 3 poison counters, we have several cards that just become activated and become better. Our other proliferate engines include Experimental Augury and Reject Imperfection. Reject Imperfection is just a solid counterspell anyways. Has that kind of dissipate magic where it's a 3-drop counterspell, but it does something extra on the backside. It just happens to not exile stuff, but instead help you proliferate if stuff is cheap. Experimental Augury is a really powerful card. However, I only recommend really using it for card advantage if you don't have a Prologue to Phyresis, or if you haven't already given a poison counter, try and use something that gives a poison counter first. Because poison's our main win con here. Poison's the main way we're going to win with this deck. We don't run any creatures. We will sometimes maybe mill people out by getting enough counters with Ickermore Gauntlet onto a Jace to just continuously mill out my opponent, but it's very unlikely. It's usually trying to play a poison game plan through a Dimir controlling strategy, including stuff like Path of Peril to keep us alive. Mana base is a little flubbed. It's really hard to get full playsets of all the new lands nowadays, I tell you what. We are running Graphene's Towers to be able to activate Path of Peril through something other than just Celestis, and Xander's Lodge is here to just have a cycle land in the mana base. I like cycle lands. I think they're really useful mid to late game when you just need to hit a powerful card that you need, cycle on your opponent's turn, and on your turn you just kind of get to go off. We do run some cut downs for that early game interaction because in this deck, I suppose is a better way of phrasing it, don't really come online until you have 2 to 3 mana out on board, and cut down really helping bridge you over can be really useful. I considered dropping some Spell Pierces, but on average, Spell Pierce doesn't seem to do much in this deck. But yeah, this is a really fun deck. I have a lot of fun playing it. It doesn't always win. It's not the best thing around. I don't think it'll be super impactful in the meta until it's refined a bit more. But this is the first version of it, and it's very much thematic around the new cards, and because of that, I wanted to make a video on it. Deck list will be in the description below. If you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff, and let's hop into the gameplay. Alright, chat, say hi to YouTube if you want to. This is now being recorded for YouTube. First time trying to do this as is. Computer might explode. We're going first. We have Prologue to Phyresis. We have Infectious Inquiry. We have Cut Down. We have mana. We're gaming. Let's try and make this work. Yeah, we're trying this whole like recording while streaming thing. One, so I can spare time off stream so I can actually relax more. 2, because I thought it could be fun. Probably just gonna slam Prologue to Phyresis here, unless they play something that's like necessary to cut down. They did not. Looks like they're playing Jund Value. We will probably do pretty okay here. Especially drawing the Reject Imperfections. Because they'll probably try and slam whatchamacallit on 3 here, Fable. I will reject its imperfections, and I will give them a poison counter. It's Galaga readers, but the idea stands. Proliferate! I think we just hold up another Reject Imperfection here. And then we can refill with Curiosity afterwards. We don't let them have that. We are mostly doing this to get them to 3 poison counters to activate corrupted abilities in all our cards. Oh, no. You don't get anything! That was really toxic, the way I did that. Okay, we're going to Distorted Curiosity to refill our hand and point and laugh at our opponent. We could play Ikramore Gauntlet, but it's not good until we get our Planeswalkers out. I think we Experimental Augury here. Yeah, we Experimental Augury to try and find something to deal with their creatures and shit. And we keep giving them poison counters. We grab a counter spell. Alright, Glissa, you don't get to live. Yeah, this is literally, like, I got the idea because I saw this card. This card is the reason that I made this deck the way that I did. Oh, that is not a joke. Draw 2, lose 2, opponent gets a poison counter. Ooh, Vraska's Fall. Nice. So now if they play a creature, we don't have to kill it. We can make them sack it. Like another Glissa. My poor opponent. They're about to face the wrath of doomed love. I'm into their instep. Actually, don't have any shenanigans. Say bye-bye to your Glissa. Enjoy your 6 poison counters, about to be 7. Cut down is fine, but I don't really like it here. I would rather have a way to get rid of it. Yeah, this is literally just poison win con the deck, chat. You might have thought I was joking when I was talking about it. We are winning through poison. We will poison our opponents to death. We grab Vraska here. For various reasons. I think we just go ahead and play this here. So that if we play Vraska and we have a cut down target, we just kill them. Okay, we don't literally kill them, but we get them very close to dying. Yeah, we only need to apply 2 more poison, and I don't know. That's fine. I don't care.
I'll have this fight finished before brunch.
Yeah, they're just playing Jund Value Pile, which is fine. I wish I could have kept Cut Down. But it's fine, because my opponent is dead. Ome wa mo shindairu. You know what? Your Liliana can have a counter. Your Lily and your Kieran can have a counter too, because you're dead. Who cares? I wasn't kidding. We win with poison. This is how this deck works. It's really fun. I like it a lot. It's also, like, jokes intended, incredibly toxic. I don't have to play the game most of the time. I just kind of sit here counterspelling, removing stuff, and then poisoning them to death. So good. Okay, I'm on the play. I have... This is fine. We have pretty good 1, 2, 3 plays. I don't want a Jadar on board. So we can either Vraska's Fall them when they play another creature here, or... just, you know, ask and be answered. Path of Peril is, like, fine. We don't have the white mana to cleave it, though, so if they play anything that's, like, big, we have problems. We can kill that with an Anoint with Affliction. Which we probably will do. We'll cycle through a Prologue Phyresis here. If we get another one, we might just slam it again. No reason to not just go ahead and exile that. It doesn't really cause me problems, but, like... we do this despite the fact that... yeah, okay. I'll say, because even though we don't have, like, that last poison counter to make it cheaper, we need to hit land drops right now. Shieldred. Unfortunately, we have to use a board wipe on Shieldred because we don't have our 3rd poison counter yet, but we will do what we can. If I can find a way to get my last poison counter, this will be great. I did not. Alright, well, we gotta kill this guy anyways. He's annoying. Draw 2 with this. Land drops are important. We do have Jace here. I don't think Jace will be that important. My opponent's probably just going to draw a bunch of cards here. Or we'll at least draw a card here. Unfortunately, we ripped through a lot of our removal spells already. We don't have that many. And our opponent is obviously playing the highest quality deck. Mono black. I think we just do this and then start milling them out. Mill is another potential win con, by the way. That's not a joke. It's not as easy to hit the mill win con in this deck, but it is possible. I don't think I've done it yet. It's typically the... God, Jace, you're so loud. It's typically the poison, but it is possible.
We can improve upon your ideas.
I think we just vibe here. Like, they get to kill Jace if they really want to. But we got Bring the Ending so we can counterspell something. Do they do the smart thing and kill Jace here? So my thing is absolutely to kill Jace. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Jace will be, like, really hard for them to deal with in general if they don't kill him. But here's the kicker. They could probably just kill me with combat damage before he matters.
A minus
Draw 3. Hi, Vraska. I don't think you're playable right now. We just slammed the gauntlet. Vraska can turn their sleeper into a treasure token. Good and bad. My opponent is doing a great job of killing themselves for me. God, I would kill for another Path of Peril right about now. Sure, we go for it. We go for the Path of Peril here. I think that's the only way we don't die.
Death is obsolete.
Rewarded. Rewarded. Oh, I've never been so rewarded in my life. Braids isn't that scary. Braids is annoying, but Braids isn't that scary. I can sack my Icramore Gauntlet if I need to. I think we just turn Braids into a treasure token, honestly. It also looks like they're not running like normal mono black. They're running a bit more of like a grindy mid-range. Yeah, I have an artifact I can sack. You don't get to draw cards. Nice try, though. Yeah, I think we just turn Braids into a treasure token. We play the Gauntlet.
Stone and flesh.
I feel like there's no reason to not play out our land here. And we just hold up Bring the Ending. Bring the Ending now just hard counters, because they are corrupted. Which is really nice for me. Because there's... I don't know if Shieldred matters enough. Because I'll still be able to, because it's just -2 to turn something into an artifact. I think an Invoke Despair obviously warrants Bring the Ending. That really doesn't. It's annoying, but it doesn't warrant to Bring the Ending. Because Vraska doesn't die here. Oh, they're just going to do that? You realize turning into a treasure token isn't death, right? That, like, you're not going to get any value off your crown here. Maybe they don't. Maybe they do. Say goodbye to your Fellstinger. I'm just kind of dead on board here to a lot of anything. The reason I had to counter the Fellstinger is I couldn't take the chance that they were smart enough to know that if they made me draw the cards, I died. I unfortunately couldn't take that chance. Interesting. I'm probably going to die to Vraska here. But I need to draw cards. Speaking of dying to drawing cards. I go out on my terms. You can't stop me. I go out how I lived, drawing cards. I just didn't draw what I needed by the end there. I wasn't drawing any of my card draw. It happens. GG's opponent. That was a weird deck, but I guess it worked. Okay, opponent goes first. We have a Jace, we have an Ichabod Gauntlet, we have a Bring the Ending. This is barely keepable. We have 3 mana, and we can play Jace on curve, or we can Ichabod Gauntlet on curve. We'll be able to Bring the Ending on our second turn, or just Experimental Augury, depending on what my opponent plays. Looking like some type of boring Orzhov nonsense. Probably the same meta deck as last tier, because no one plays anything new or fun. Fun fact. You don't get to play that. They have a counter. They have a cut down in hand. That's the only thing that holds up priority like this. Yeah, no, I've been trying to record gameplay for this deck for a while, and all I'm running into is last tier's meta decks, and it's really annoying, I tell you what. Slam Jace. +1 on their Early Shield core. Yeah, no, I've not run into anything other than just like pure meta. Just slave to the meta style decks lately. It's been rough, man. I'm trying to play something new and fun, and my opponents are just slaving away in the meta mines. Like, I can't be mad. At least they're playing a new card. Like, I can't really be mad. Why are you swinging? You don't do any damage. That was such a weird decision. There was no reason to swing there. Like, I get it. Like, I get why you would keep meta-ing it up. The meta decks are good for a reason. But, like, man, we just got a new set. Why are you still just using the same Orzhov Value Engine deck from, like, last set? Let's go ahead and slam this. Try and hit a land drop if we can. Vraska's Fall's not bad here. Yeah, just the one. We really just want to hold that Bring the Ending in case they play something that actually matters. Gyata is one of those things. Yeah, they're just playing some random Orzhov value pile. I don't know why they're doing this in response. You saw them hover over the Lion Sash. They're like, do I exile something in response? Fun fact, I literally have like no permanents in this deck, so this thing is going to get very little value. Grab a Fiend's Tower here to make sure I can, whatchamacallit on curve. And do this. I think we probably just slam Celestis here. We could slam Vraska. And just kill their Lion Sash by turning it into a treasure token. They probably have another Edict effect in hand, though. Oh, okay, well we have a much easier solution then. Play this. We can't play the Gauntlet as well, but we can hold up the Unite with Affliction to kill the Lion Sash here. It's not really being a problem, but it's kind of being a problem. This can hit anything, though, which is really nice, because we got them to 3 poison counters. My opponent is clearly whiffing on something. The Lion Sash isn't a real scary threat, by the way. The scary threat will be whatever they play and attach the Lion Sash to. Okay, interesting choice. I'm just going to kill it now. I don't know what that was about. Let's just play Prologue. We need to find removal, I think. Jace works decently well as, like, pseudo removal. And we need to keep our life total high.
I become subdued.
We really need to keep the life total high. Here comes another Edict effect. Just that pause and look at card. That screams I have another Edict effect. Here it comes. Here it comes. We are in a very removal-heavy meta, dear viewer, and it's a little annoying. Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't actually kill Jace. I guess math is hard. It's at -1/2, buddy. Okay, well, let's go ahead and do this.
Organic mind.
Let's slam Vraska on curve. Let's go ahead and get rid of this.
Phyrexia's ranks. Don't gaze into my eyes.
Giving them an extra mana is not great for me, but it's not like the end of the world. I can just do the exact same thing. I can... Okay, well, I guess we're doing this again. That was a decision. Don't you worry, that treasure token, it has a counter on it. I tell you what. Let's go ahead and minus that. I believe I get to draw here, which is going to be nice. Oh wait, no, I cast something, didn't I? I cast my gauntlet. Shoot. We probably keep the Jace around here. Ah, they realize there's no reason to swing with that. Augers. Okay, anyways. Go ahead and minus 3, minus O that.
Become subdued.
Let's go ahead and draw a card here. A little scary, but...
Patience. We will win.
We do get to use our Celestis here, which is nice. Life gain, very powerful. You know, it's not very powerful. Cards that kill me in hand. I'm assuming they're throwing them in the graveyard so they can get them back with like a Shieldred's whatever. I don't know why they just did that, but okay. That was a weird decision, but alright. It's a 2-drop, right? Yeah, right. See, this is the type of deck that we do pretty well in. Give it to Jace. This is the type of matchup that we do pretty well in. And now we can stop hurting ourselves by just using that to proliferate. I can make the mill like 24, but I really want to... Oh, bye. I was gonna say, I really want to draw cards here. I really wanted to draw cards there. I was thinking about maybe just proliferating again, but the card draw would have been really nice. I could have eventually taken an extra turn with one or the other, but it was a long ways off. Either way, I'm still mad you're playing old meta. Be better, opponent. This is a joke. You're allowed to play whatever you like. I like seeing new decks. It's cool and fun, and it's why I'm playing this deck in particular. As you can see, it does kind of work. Ignore the fact that it took me 3 hours to get this game. But GG's, opponent. You played well. Alright, I'm on the play. This is a really good hand. This is like exactly what this deck wants to have in its starting hand. You have a counterspell, and you have a poison applier. Really freaking early. Oh god, I'm choking on my words. I really feel like I'm probably going to want a counterspell. This might be the Formiridon. Nope, it's probably Naya tokens. Yep, we can't let them have a hive. Hold up Annoyant with Affliction. We might just want to play it on our next turn, depending on what they play here. Putting announcement. Alright, Prologue to Phyresis. Huh. I guess they really didn't want to be poisoned. That's a dub. Opponent goes first. 2 counterspells, 2 prologues, we keep. I've been trying real hard to not have... If this is the Simic Rot Priest deck again, I might just scream. It is. No Rot Priest? I'm shocked. I didn't think that the Simic decks kept Rot Priest unless it was in their opening. Kept a hand unless Rot Priest was already in it. Alright, well, we just play Bring the Ending. Or play around to Bring the Ending. Simic Soldiers? What the fuck? That's confusing. We're gonna play Jace here to try and get an idea of what they're playing.
I've already read your thoughts. We can improve
What?
your ideas.
Huh? Stop talking. I mean, that can't kill my Jace, so we'll just do that.
Our plans are beyond your comprehension.
What in God's name is my opponent playing? That they put Hullbreaker and Skystrike Officer and line of... What are they playing? Oh, do you have a Land of Shame? Show me. Show me the Land of Shame. No Land of Shame? Okay. Land of Shame is a bit I've made up. By made up, I mean I think I stole it from another content creator. But I don't remember.
Predictable and uninteresting.
That, a lot of people will just, like, have... Will essentially just, like, have a counterspell in hand. Oh, nice. Experimental Augury is really good here. It allows me to, add counters on 2 different things here. Jacked Imperfection is an amazing get. Because if they try and play anything now, we just counterspell it. And we get to proliferate again. So Jace is up to 4.
Organic minds are easily quelled.
Topiary's Stomper is not really that scary. I don't know what the heck my opponent's playing. It's some weird Simic value pile, I think. We might just let Jace die on this next turn just to get card advantage out of it. We'll see, though.
What you're thinking won't work.
I think that's the play. We're drawing a lot of lands. That's probably the smart play here.
The data requires scrutiny.
I wish I'd gotten this a turn sooner, but we can't win them all, chat. Chat? This is a YouTube video. We're literally just on the hunt for a Path of Peril now. That's it. That's what we're on the hunt for. I don't know what my opponent's playing. It's some type of weird Simic rampiness, but I don't know, like, why Skystrike Officer is in there. I don't know why Lane of War Green Widow is in there. I don't know why Hullbreaker Horror is in there. It's like they wanted to play Simic Control, but decided that they didn't have enough stompy creatures. Like, I mean, hey, you do you, man. You get what you like. You play the cards you enjoy. But, like, is weird. Oh no, my Jace. Anyways. Jace dies. Let's just try and play this and see what happens. We'll see if they play any counter spells. Vraska's Fall's okay here. They'd probably just sack the Stomper to get it back, but that keeps it off the board for a turn.
A minor setback to Phyrexia's plan.
I hate that Icramore Gauntlet makes me, like, choose a thing. You're up to 5 poison. That's decent. We're well on our way to losing here, though. Because we're just not drawing anything good. We drew a bunch of lands in a row. These are the 8 playable cards out of our top 20. Sorry, 9 playable cards. Yeah, why not? What in God's name is my opponent playing? It's sure not new or original, but it's surely not a good deck, right? Like, I don't know, it's beating my ass, so what do I know? Can't interact with the cycle. Please just pass priority. They really like to hold their priority. Wow, more lands. Jesus, okay. I think we just do this to draw a card, honestly. Which seems kind of weird, but that means they do have to swing twice at Vraska. Of course, if they get a +1 to damage anywhere, I just die, so we'll see. Man. If I could just not draw all lands, I think I would have had a chance in this game. I have a board wipe in this deck. I have 2 of them, actually. I have 2 whole board wipes in this deck somewhere. Yeah, of course. Why not? Why wouldn't I top deck attack? What is my opponent playing? I don't get it. I don't know what they're playing. Oh, that's kind of a mistake, honestly, because, like, it kills it, sure, but this happens now. That was good. Alright, I actually got something good. I mean, I'm still probably doomed. I need, like, several draw cards in a row. I need several draw cards in a row. Jace counts. And they really hate my Planeswalkers, so, like... Honestly, if they keep swinging on my Planeswalkers instead of doing other stuff, it's kind of fine by me.
Surrender your
They don't have enough in their graveyard for Jace to make me draw a bunch yet. We're getting there. Game, you gotta stop with the lands, please! I have a chance against this deck. Why do you keep flooding me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 lands. 13 lands. 13 out of my 25 lands have been found, and I'm not halfway through my deck yet. This is very saddening. Jace dies here. Although, to be fair, if I was my opponent, I'd probably just keep swinging face. You're not running a control deck. You're running a stompy go-wide deck. I'd just swing face. I don't know why they're so worried about Jace and Vraska. They could have put me to 1 life already, but they're not for some reason. It's a little confusing, I'm not gonna lie. Cycle and Pray. More land? I think the ending is, like, debatably fine here. It's not very good, but it's, like, debatably fine. If they try and play a big stompy threat, we can just counter it. I'm still very confused about my opponent's deck. I don't want you to have a fight rigging. Thank you, come again. I'm really confused by the Simic fight rigging over here on my opponent's side. It's very confusing. I really don't quite get it. Alright, well, if we don't draw a bunch of cards here soon, or our other board wipe, we're probably dead. That counts as card draw. This does not count as card draw. Jace is technically card draw, but they kill me. Do you think I go for it? There's a really good chance I draw some of my removal spells, right?
I know where to find all the answers.
No, we just lose now. That sucks. I just drew all of my lands out. Like, I just drew out, like, all of my lands. I was at 3 lands in the graveyard, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 lands. Over half my lands. I only run 24, so I got 13 out of 24 in my top 30. That is rough. That is really rough. I'm sure that gameplay was very impressive to you, dear viewer. So many losses. Ironically enough, when this deck gets to win, it gets to win. It just seems to be constantly on the back foot against a lot of matchups, which is really sad because it's a really fun deck to play. I think it just doesn't have a place in the meta right now. That's my overall, like, final verdict on this deck, is that it's really good, it's really strong. It can win without your opponent being able to interact much if you just, like, have the right cards at the right time. Same for any control deck. But this meta is way too fueled around playing stompy big threats in the mid game, and in the early game, just bum rushing your opponent down with things that have to get removed. This deck doesn't work well. Blue-black control is not really it at the moment, in my experience. It's good. It's playable. This deck can absolutely get you wins if you're allowed to, you know, if you have a starting hand where you actually get your cut downs and stuff, and you're allowed to remove the early threats of your opponents, you get your opponent with afflictions to destroy recursive threats, like, you're probably going to win, right? Like, you're probably going to end up winning it out. The problem is if you don't get all that. If you have games like, I think the last game where I drew, I have 25 lands and I drew 13 of them in the top half of my deck, when all I really needed was an Anoint with Affliction. You'll have games like that where you just, like, don't draw anything that you need at the right time. But the same can be said for any, like, mid-rangey control deck right now. Well, mid-range 2 control deck right now. Unless you're running a giga value engine like Jund or Grixis mid-range, you're probably just going to have games like that. That's something you got to keep in mind as, like, a warning when it comes to playing decks like this. I also feel like my MMR is very screwed up at the moment. I think my MMR is much higher than being at the bottom of plat would suggest. I play against the occasional person who, like, feels like they're just out of gold, but on average, I feel like I'm fighting people who are, like, just climbing their way back into Diamond and Mythic every game, playing super meta stuff. So take my gameplay with a grain of salt as well. You might have more success. This game does have, like, hidden MMR combined with its ranking system. So keep all that in mind when you play any deck that you find out there. I still have a lot of fun with this deck. It's still something that I pull out from time to time to just kind of toy around with and try and improve. If you have any improvements for it, let me know in, like, the comments or something. For now, thanks for hanging out and watching. I hope this video is at least entertaining. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and I hope to catch you in the next one.